perfection. You know I'm through with you. Your hoops are my obsessions, always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy. I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention. You never will. And fall victim, but when I'm lowest, time to get to know myself. I'm still tangled, I'm not worried, 'cause I am caught up in this perfection. Pay attention, yeah, you never will, 'cause you depend, so you always will. If you arrest yourself, listen to what I need. Put a picture so I can see. February can't chase the days away. Yeah, away. Why listen to what they say? Save yourself for another day. This one's coming, it's gone to the wind again. Yeah, again. Again. Just listen and make amends. You've been down for as long as you've ever been. This way's up, but you're down again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Yo! Let's go! Like I need you! Let's go, 5 Alarm! Finish mod in 2 streams. Glad to join you all here. Let's go! Let's go! Thank you, boss! I've got no place to be alone. Cut his wrist instead. Dude, how we doing? On this fine fucking Wednesday night. Nothing like success! Do you need anything like I need you? Soho. Do you need anything like I need you? You know I do. Yo! Dude, it's gonna be a good one tonight, boss. I can feel it. Tell me where are mine most of the time. Reality, then permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Anything like I need you. Oh. Yo, yo, yo. Dude, Trumpy's got the screwworm, all right? He's got that Epstein screwworm. Let's go. Yo! Go big or go home, baby. Yo! Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Dude, how we doing? Yeah, dude. Dude, there were like multiple earthquakes in Venezuela. And some tells me that they probably did not have a rigorously enforced building code there because of, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of corruption there. Venezuela is run by a lot of corrupt people. So, dude, yeah, I don't know, man. Isn't that crazy, though? That, like, dude, Venezuela, you know, like, sort of partners with Trump, and now their fucking whole country is, like, decimated. Dude. I mean, you know, I can say from the Northridge earthquake in the early 90s, dude, that shit is scary, boss. I remember Northridge. So this was the big one. That was like a 7 something, okay, or whatever, but it was centered in Northridge. I was living in Hollywood, and you know, that's probably like 15 miles from Northridge. But this thing happened late at night, guys, okay? And at the time, I was living on the top floor of a 4-story brick building in Hollywood, and it was so weird. It was like, because I had been through many earthquakes. I mean, you have them a lot in LA, or fair amount of frequency. But this one was like, I didn't know it was an earthquake at first, because it shook me so hard that it shook me out of bed. And then the first thing I did instinctively was I looked out the window and I saw a bunch of explosions on the hill. And so I honestly thought we were getting attacked or something. I did not know it was an earthquake. All the power was out. There had been a bunch of explosions. I guess the like power units or something, like that are on power poles, were the things that were blowing, right? Transducers or whatever they are. But so then I was like, fuck, dude, my girlfriend woke up. She was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, I mean, I was young. I was early 20s. And so what we did was we just went downstairs. We went outside with a flashlight. Transformers, thank you. We went outside with a flashlight, and like everybody was spilling out into the street, and people had fucking radios on, and we found out it was an earthquake. And it was like, dude, it was crazy. In that instance, I did not duck and cover. I mean, I was asleep, so I got woken up and sort of thrown out of bed at the end of it. So I didn't do anything in that one. You know, I mean, normally you get in like a doorway, but yeah, dude, it was freaky. And then we got outside, and you know, there are people everywhere, you know, milling around. But then what we did was the next day we drove through Northridge, and like, dude, the buildings in Northridge were fucked up, right? Like our building was fine. A lot of buildings had cracks and shit. There's a lot of stucco houses, but man, in Northridge, like the buildings were like, some of them were like rubble, dude. It was wild. It was wild because I had never seen an earthquake of that intensity, like in the city. Yeah, it was pretty wild. So, and you know, so if those things happen in a really like old, you know, old building style urban area, like there's going to be some disaster, man. Super scary, right? Super scary, dude. Yeah, the Bay Bridge. Oh yeah, no, the one where the Bay Bridge collapsed was crazy too. Dude, that was wild. Some hyping. You were in 𝗙cie, let's go. Dude, my son's mom was from TO, right? Yeah, the earthquake shit is weird. And guys, you know what's wild? Let me just tell you, the wildest experience I ever had in an earthquake was when I saw one outside, okay? And I shit you not, I saw one outside, and it was like an acid trip. Like the street and the sidewalk like were like a sine wave for like a second, dude. It was like the craziest shit I have ever seen in my life, where the road like rippled in a way that I have never seen a solid piece of like road or sidewalk move, dude. It was like, what the fuck did I just see? It was the weirdest shit, dude. It was really bizarre. Yeah, very freaky.
And yeah, you get no warning, and you don't know how severe they are either when that shit hits. I mean, it could be just a tremble. It could be like some crazy shit. But yeah, I personally, guys, I lived in Wisconsin, so I've been around tornadoes, right? Here in Portland, all we really have are like mudslides, but that's like the hills. I have not been in a hurricane, okay? But I will say this. I found earthquakes to be the scariest simply because there's no warning and there's no idea of what the severity is going to be, right? Like, you don't find out how severe it is until that shit is like happening. And like tornadoes, you get a warning, you get a generalized path, and the same with hurricanes. Like, you have a warning of this possible strength and everything. So you can, right? Earthquake it's just on. And you're like, holy fucking shit. What the fuck is going on? Now, dude, mudslides are sort of the same way. Or avalanches are the same way. You're just sitting there, you're whatever, eating, and then all of a sudden the hillside just caves in and off away your house goes. So those types of things where you don't get any warning, I find them to be a little freakish. But we'll look at that later. I want to get in and look at some of the politics stuff today. And I will say this, dude, today kicked off the 250, the big Freedom 250, guys. The big festival got kicked off today, right? Trump's big event. You know, the main event, the big 4th of July craziness. Now, look at this, dude. Dude, the first thing I noticed was there's no one there, bro. Dude, there's no one there. I mean, right? Day one, there's like 150 people down here. What the fuck is that? Right? What is that? There's nobody at this thing. I mean, are we shocked? Are we shocked? I'm not shocked. Yeah, no, they got a Ferris wheel that is in the middle of the National Mall, the middle of the grounds, and like, yeah, I mean, dude, this is like off of Congress, so this is on the other side, right? On the Congress side, but yeah, it's pretty empty. Now, I will say, dude, they didn't show a lot of the crowd shots, guys. That was the first thing I noticed. They didn't show any of the crowd shots. They just showed these little tight bits. But I mean, look at this shit, dude. Dude, is it just me, or is this the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, bro? Dude, I thought Tyler was in jail, bro. I swear, this is the dude who shot Charlie Kirk. What the fuck is going on? Oh. Right? Isn't that wild? Yeah, I was looking through trying to find the crowd shots, and for the most part, they didn't really look into the crowd, guys. They showed just a smattering of the crowd, right? That was the only crowd shot that I saw. So, I mean, this is not like, we're not talking leads or, right? You know what I'm saying? We're not talking Woodstock here, okay? This is, there was a little bit of a crowd, but it was pretty fucking tame, actually. You know, the orchestra doesn't look happy. I mean, I can't imagine they are, dude. It's probably like fucking 200 degrees up there on stage. And look at what they're wearing. Okay? You know what I'm saying? But there it is, the Great American State Fair. Oh, Jesus. All right. Dude, everybody's wearing their fucking Trump costume. Oh, man. Dude, they're 50 mil? Yeah. I mean, you know, we can see a little bit of Trump.
Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans. You go out and buy an automobile.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Dude, we got yanked, bro.
The interest on the loan is fully tax deductible. Never happened before, but only if the car happens to be made in America. And we're setting records. And
dude, why is he bragging about that? The interest on your car loan is tax deductible. I mean, is that really something to brag about? Like, how many people have car loans? How much is your interest? You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, right? If you have a car loan, how much is your interest spread out over a year? You know, I mean, and what's more is if you're in the third year of your car, okay, if you're in the third year of your car, like at that point, half of the interest, right? You pay all your interest first. All the interest is always front loaded, right? I mean, isn't that wild? He's like bragging about that. Like, yo, dude, cars are like 30% more, but hey, we get to write off the interest, right? We get to write off the interest. I mean, if you're itemizing your shit, right? But like, what a weirdo.
Automobile construction. Our country is strong again, our country is wealthy again, and our country is safe again. In January 2025,
dude, our country is like, I don't know, Elon is wealthy. Bro, this shit, what a drag. Let's see the people leaving. All right, I want to see the people leaving. Do we have a link? Just saw the Venezuelan earthquake footage. Oh my God, what the fuck? Yeah, no, we're going to look at that later. Dude, yeah, no, I know he is. He is grappling. Let's see if we can see people leaving. Oh, here we are. This is it. You ready?
Now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined. And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of...
Dude, he literally, every single speech he does is just the same boring shit, right? Oh, here's like 5 things we've done. We're the hottest. We're the greatest. We're the wealthiest, right? Like, yada, yada, yada. You know, windmills, batteries, sharks, you know, fucking the transgender imitation, some sports nonsense, mutilization.
400, 500, and even 600%. Who would think that if you took down 0.5%, somebody said you were now the...
Brutal. Brutal, guys. All right, so here's the flyover. There's the big flyover. Now, I will say, guys, right? I thought this flyover was like, it's a little weird, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like the clouds are freaking me out a little bit. You know, it's a little fucking weird, right? There's some about it. It's just eerie in its own way, right? Dude, love that. Eerie. You know? It's a little, it's like, I don't know. My EpiPen gets a little excited. My Epstein pen. No, let's go, dude. There it is. A tribute, a flyover, an honor, right? An honor. Dude, 1976, the bicentennial was so good, dude. It was. It felt pretty cool. I don't know what was going on in the rest of the world, but in my small town, it was pretty neat. In Elkhorn, Wisconsin, 1976 was wild. Then we moved to Los Angeles. Dude, that was a pretty tame flyover. It was, you'll notice this flyover was smaller than the one at his birthday party. Okay? It was smaller than the one at his birthday party. Now, one thing we did have, though, here is we did have this, right? Watch this. We got Sean Duffy here. Watch.
Okay, to start this off, I think we have to give a big round of applause for our military band and singers. Way better than those libtards that canceled on us. So much better. Thank you, guys. President Trump will make you famous.
All right, so there's a couple things to unpack here. Number one is they had to use the military band and singers because everyone canceled, okay? Because nobody wants to be a part of this MAGA shit show. But Sean Duffy used the L slur, okay? But like, dude, he's got a kid with Down syndrome. Sean Duffy does, and his wife. They have a daughter with Down syndrome, and they throw around that slur like out in public while simultaneously talking about, you know, God and going to church and being religious. Isn't that wild? Like, who the fuck has a kid with Down syndrome and then uses like modified slurs, you know, in order, like, around them, right? Isn't that wild? It is so, like, off the fucking rocker, bro. I mean, it really is. It really is fucking, like, way out of pocket, okay? It is so crazy that that's how they roll, right? And then here's his big moment in his speech.
There was evil. They understood that our rights, like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, that didn't come from Congress, from government. It didn't come from a king. It came from God. God gave us those rights, and no government can take those rights away from us. And as we celebrate this 250th birthday, what's remarkable is there is a revival in America.
Oh, yeah.
Our young people have been lied to.
Yeah, our young people. All right, tell us about our young people, boss.
They've been told that they would be fulfilled with hookup culture or some get-rich-quick scheme, or they could find fame in social media and that would fulfill them. But I'll tell you, they found that that's a false promise. That's a lie.
Dude, by the way, this guy got famous on TV. Reality TV, guys, just for the record, let's not forget, in the real world.
And they've sought truth. And in seeking truth, they have gone to church. They've found the Holy Gospel. They've prayed.
Praise the Epstein rapist.
In historic numbers. Maybe it's the Holy Spirit at work. I don't know. Probably, but it's great. And what's fascinating now is...
Dude, look at his, like, daughters are just standing out there, dude. Like, what are they doing? They're like, oh... Dude, they're not even clapping for this guy. His whole family is just like props, dude. Jesus.
That there was a recent poll, young men, 42% of them say that religion is incredibly important to them in their lives. That's over 20% increase in just over a year.
Dude, nobody's clapping, dude. Look at that. Nobody. I did not see one person clap. They're just like, oh yeah. Dude, so, I mean, what's more exciting, guys? I'm serious. Think about this, right? Like, forget about, you know, getting an advanced degree, starting a business, you know, having a social media empire. Forget about starting an OnlyFans or becoming an actor or becoming a rock and roller. You want to shove a Bible up your ass, and then you want to give all your tax money to the trillionaire and his billionaire friends. Now that, and every Sunday you can go to church and just fucking praise Jesus. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Right? Who wouldn't want to just, you know, go to church with one foot in the grave, right? Be like, oh, please take my tax dollars. Please, more war in the Middle East. Please, I don't need health care. Will you take this Bible? Here, yeah, just shove it right in there, dude. I know it's the wrong shape. Just fucking cram it in there. Oh, the American dream, guys. Dude, the Bible BP, dude. The good old Bible BP.
The Wall Street Journal had a recent headline that said young New Yorkers have a new hotspot. Sunday Mass. They're finding love at Mass.
Yeah, so young New Yorkers, he says. Okay? You ready? Young New Yorkers, all right, are now going to Mass. Okay? But if we look at fucking, you know, Miss Chevalier, who has everybody, dude, she's amazing. All right. Everybody's like hating on her. I love this woman. Okay. But she is fucking, people today were talking about how much she won by. Let me find it. Dude, I absolutely adore her. I do. Like, what the fuck is going on when a woman of color wins in New York City and like half of the Democrats are like, ooh, that's bad. It's like, bro, a woman of color just won like in a big election, okay? And people are like, ooh, that's bad. Dude, what the fuck is going on with us? Was she on with Hassan? Let's go. Dude, love her. But anyway, let me find the thing here, all right? Because they were showing her win. Right? They were showing this, okay? Dude, look at her. Younger residents, she won by 23 points, okay? Right? So, this guy, you know, Sean Duffy's like, oh, in New York City, everybody, their new favorite thing is going to Mass. It's like, no, bro. In New York City, they're voting for socialists. Okay? In New York City, they want to change and they want to modify our capitalist system so it stops killing us all. They are not going to Mass. They are not fucking piling into the church. You know what I'm saying? Dude, they are like showing up big. They're showing up big. Yeah, dude, Jamie, here, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I see two things going on right now that I am trying to figure out, okay? Number one is the Dems. There are a bunch of Dems that are against the DSA, okay? They don't like the DSA. They don't like any of the candidates. Now, some of those Dems are the ones who they want endless war in the Middle East. Some of that is about Israel support, okay? The Dems that want to give all the money we can to fund the war machine in the Middle East, those people don't like the DSA. But there's something else going on, guys. There is a faction of the Democratic Party that is trying to convince people of color and poor people that socialist policies are going to be bad for them. And that's really weird. Like black people in America, Hispanic people in America, poor people in America have the most to benefit from socialist policies. And yet there's a group of the Democratic Party that is trying to convince people of color and poor people that, no, you need to stick with the centrist Democrat Party. And that is so baffling to me because it's so not true, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, the centrists are not pushing for health care. They're not pushing for higher wages. They're not pushing for union jobs. They're not pushing for fully funded education. They're pushing for a status quo, and then they want to fund SNAP, right? And then they want to, like, that's it. That's all they really want to do, the ones in the middle of the road. And, dude, I don't like that. That's really fucking turning me off. You know what I'm saying? That is really fucking turning me off because there is a concerted effort with centrist Democrats to try to convince black people that progressive Democrats are going to harm them, that socialism is going to harm them. And because of the history of the Democratic Party with the civil rights and all that, there is a feeling of safety in the straight Democratic Party because of, like, the Dems' history. But, like, man, we got to do something about that messaging. That's really, I don't know, I feel like that's really important to progressive policies, is making sure we get the messaging that, like, gets inclusive and, you know, because poor people and people of color have so much to gain from, you know, wealth distribution type programs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I want to figure that shit out, guys. I do. I want to figure that shit out. And yeah, Jamie Harrison, dude, fuck him, bro. Dude, all the people, the Dems that were freaking out about this shit, like, screw them all, man. I mean, this woman is like, you know, she is like the person everybody hates. But, dude, she's so rad. Okay? She's so rad, dude.
If you vote for the Democratic delegation, and you're going to appear in all sorts of people's ads, all sorts of Republicans' ads to say, this is what you're going to get if you vote for the Democrats, a communist.
You know, I think that framing is one that I've been very proud to be able to say I don't respond to, one in which I have been very intentional to say I won't be reactive. We are presenting a vision of what we're fighting for, and I think for far too long we have had politics that is reactive to what Republicans are doing.
See, what's interesting about this, guys, is this announcer saying to her, like, oh, they're going to be ads calling you a communist? But, like, bro, they always do that. They called Kamala Harris a fucking communist, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could be a centrist, the most centrist fucking Democrat on the planet, and they're going to call you a Marxist, a communist, Trump, socialist, fascist, right? Socialist, fascist, Marxist, communist. It's like, why do we fucking care, man? You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, they're going to call her a communist. Dude, they call us all communists. Give me a fucking break, dude.
What we need is Democrats who are actually going to present a positive vision, one that sets the tone for what we should be talking about, which is the issue of affordability, which is the issue of how our budgets are moral documents. If we say that we want to invest in working people in this country, then we need to do that, and our budgets need to reflect that. If we say that we value immigration and immigration justice, we need to make sure that that is also reflective in our policy. And so I'm very proud of a campaign that we built that centers those ideals, that centers those values and that vision for what we need as a community. And that's how I'll continue to move forward in Congress. And I think that for far too long, this reactive conversation of what we should be afraid of has prevented us from being able to have a politics of hope and a politics of life that Democrats can actually identify with. When the majority of the Democratic base has been seeking for the Democratic Party to actually...
Delegation.
Dude, it's so true, okay? It is so true, guys. They're going to call us all communists regardless. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I fucking love her. I'm serious. I love her, boss. I'm telling you, dude, she is like, she literally might be my favorite fucking politician of the moment. She really is. Her energy is just fucking amazing, okay? Her energy is just incredible. A capitalist, communist, and a voter walk into the bar, but the voter thinks that they are all sharing the same drink. Dude! Oh! Let's go! Dude, let me get the fucking dance party goal. Dude, she is amazing, boss. She really is. Dude, we're fucking dancing tonight, dude. I love that her last name is Chevalier, too. Dude, I love that French shit, boss. I do. Will spend time in Paris at some point. You know? And that's just it, guys. The thing about this is like, I don't believe we are looking at fucking, like, it's not even socialism that is happening right now, guys. Okay? It is not even socialism that is happening right now. It's like you know what we want, guys? Because nobody wants the government to control all the means of production. Nobody wants the government to run all the businesses. Nobody wants that. Okay? What we want is we want socialist strategies that temper the extraordinary brutality of capitalism. And we want the power and the money to be in the hands of the many instead of the hands of the few. It is much more of a popularist, right? It's much more of a populist, humanist type approach, okay? The idea is we have a capitalist society. We're not getting rid of capitalism. It's a worldwide thing, okay? But that doesn't mean that capitalism can't be used to benefit society and benefit all the people in the country and not just the wealthiest capitalists, you know? And so, you know, if you look at some of our institutions that people love, police departments, libraries, the fire department, animal control, the parks, okay, the beaches, the river spots that you go and hang out at. And you know, all of those things, campsites, like all of that shit is socialism, okay? Like some of the greatest things we have in our society are socialist strategies, okay? And so the idea of expanding the highways, yes, the idea of expanding the socialist strategies to include things like healthcare and education, and, you know, I think it also needs to include things like, you know, housing. Okay, we do need some significant housing, you know, controls. I personally think it's a limit on the number of, a limit on the amount of housing that people can own would be a good place to start. Okay, that you can only own so much housing, right? There needs to be a cap on the maximum amount of real estate that one family can own. And absolutely, we need to make sure. Now, they did pass a housing bill that's sitting in limbo right now. But no, guys, I want to take you through the bill, okay? Because let me tell you something about this, okay? So hear me out on this, okay? Because Trump is, where is it? Where's the bill thing here? Hold on, let me find it. Because the housing bill is not done, okay? Now, I want to explain something, guys. So we're not going to say what's going on, but let's watch this clip here. And let's talk about the housing bill. Now, this housing bill, I have not unpacked the whole thing. I believe there is an element of this bill that says VC cannot buy single-family homes. However, here's the problem. The problem is I think we need to get VC out of buying apartments as well. Okay? I am not comfortable with getting private equity just out of buying single-family homes, because that's only going to help like the white people and the people that have enough money to buy a house and can get a house at decent interest rates, people that the banks are not preventing from getting housing. We need to make sure that the VC's not buying apartment buildings as well. Okay? VC is venture capital. That's, hedge funds, private equity groups, et cetera, et cetera. I think we need to get, I think this bill only does single family homes, so it still allows them to buy apartments, but we need the apartments included. But let's watch this bit here.
Not the leaders, because they want to cheat. Their policy is so bad, they're unelectable.
Would you veto the housing bill you came to your desk, sir? Would you veto it?
About what?
If the housing bill that you didn't sign today that came
No,
to your
I
desk.
said I'm not signing the housing bill. I want to see what happens with it. Look, the housing bill is housing. I made billions of dollars with housing. I know housing better than anybody, maybe anywhere. It's all about the interest rate. Lower the interest rates, you can have all the housing you want. But you have to understand, I don't want to hurt people that own houses too. These people, for the first time in their lives, they have valuable houses. They become rich. I don't want to hurt them either.
Sir,
What you want to do is what good for everyone? Get the interest rates down.
Dude, if you get the interest rates down, that helps the wealthy, guys. Okay? That helps the wealthy because they all live on debt, guys. Every wealthy person lives on loans. They never touch their own assets. So they want the interest rates low because it's good for all of them. All right?
We have this numbskull that was the head of the Fed before, and he's a stupid person. And we call him too late because he was too late with the interest rates.
All right, but anyway, let's talk about this bill, guys, because here's the deal, okay? The bill showed up, and he was supposed to sign it today. And then Trump said no. Trump said, I'm not signing the housing bill until you pass the Save America Act. But here's the problem, guys, okay? The problem is he can't kill it by not signing it, okay? Because when you don't sign a bill, in 10 days, it becomes a law automatically, unless Congress is adjourned. However, here's the deal, though, guys. The 4th of July doesn't count, okay? The 4th of July is an in-session break. So Congress is going to go out of session for like a week around 4th of July, but he can't pocket veto. You cannot pocket veto on the 4th of July break. You can pocket veto on Thanksgiving when they go out for and go home for an extended session. You can pocket veto on Christmas, and you can pocket veto when Congress adjourns for the year, right? When they leave, but you can't pocket veto over 4th of July. So he's going to, one of three things is going to happen. Either right now he's like making a big theater production, hoping, I don't know, something happens. But in 10 days, this thing's going to become a bill if he doesn't sign it. Or he can veto it, and then it goes back to the House. But it had like way beyond veto-proof majorities that voted for this thing. And so I don't think if he vetoed it, they would bring it back to the House and then they would kill it in the House and the Senate when they re-vote on it. I don't think they'd do that because that would really fuck them up in the elections to vote for a housing bill and then kill it themselves. So if he vetoes it, I think it's going to pass anyway. Now, I don't know if they're going to try some other fuckery, but this thing should be, I don't know what his play is here. Okay? His play, I think, is to create some hubbub about Save America and blah so they can spend the whole time like, you know what I mean? I think what they want is they want to talk about the Save America Act for the entire time of this 4th of July celebration. Okay? After Trump's tantrum, he was asked if he cares about the housing crisis. Yeah, no, you put this one in the fucking Discord. This is a good clip. Yeah, watch this. Dude, you see him with his little dismissiveness? Dude, Erica Kirk 2028. I forgave the shooter, so can you. Thank you, Tony. Let's go. Look at Tony kicking us off, guys. Let's get it. 29 and 20, baby. Tony's on it. All right, watch this clip. Look at him, though. He's such a dick, bro.
Go ahead.
Buying a home is unattainable for so many Americans. Is this election legislation more important to you than resolving the housing crisis?
Every election's important. We're doing very well. They want a lot of communists to come in. I'm saying it a little bit differently, but the people that they're pushing are communists, and this country is not going to have communists. Thank you very much.
Dude, they said Kamala Harris was a communist. Everybody's a communist. Dude, what a loser, bro. Can we just get a pine box? Like, please, please. Oh, the communists. Oh, the communists. Bro, so wild. It is, what a disaster, right? He is just an absolute fucking disaster, guys. This guy, what an absolute disaster. Look at this shit, though, dude. Look at this. Dude, did you see? Dude, AOC, look at that. 87% of the vote in the primary, bro. Dude, isn't that wild? They were trying to primary AOC, and she won 87% of the vote. Now, I want to see this, though, because there's a woman who primaries AOC every time, and I don't see her fucking name in there. So she, I guess, oh no, she's a Republican, right? No. Who's the woman? Yeah. Oh, she didn't run, I guess. Okay. There's normally a woman, Tina something, who runs against AOC every election, dude. Dude, you got to see this woman. Tina Forte. Dude, she didn't run. Oh my God. Do you guys know who Tina Forte is? Have you seen the woman who runs against AOC like every single time? Look at her, bro. Dude, she is like the craziest fucking Jersey girl. Oh my God. Right? She didn't run this time. Oh, she is a nut. Oh my God, dude. Dude, she is fucking crazy, bro. Dude. Look at her. Oh my God, dude. Tina Forte. Dude, she is like like Mar-a-Lago to the hilt, bro. Dude, I feel like, dude, at first I was like, holy shit, is that 𝗙cie 𝗹𝗹𝗏𝗧𝗏's husband or what, dude? I thought maybe it was 𝗙cie 𝗹𝗹𝗏𝗧𝗏's husband. Oh shit, dude, right? You know? The fucking get your air pump, 𝗙cie 𝗹𝗹𝗏𝗧𝗏's husband. But she is fucking crazy, dude. She is a nut job, but she didn't run this time. All right? There she is, dude. Tina Forte. No running this time. I'm a little surprised. Dude, she had been running against AOC. Like, running against AOC was like her religion. Okay? It was. Oh, all right. You got a Tina clip? Great. Dude, I love it. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, here she is.
Ready? Tick-tock, tick-tock. My hair color is naturally mousy brown. I dye it blonde and black. It's been my signature look for over 10 years. Okay, sometimes I cut my hair really short too during race season. I don't use Botox as I'm allergic to it. I use Dysport. I don't have lip fillers. This in my lip right here is a blood clot, thanks to COVID, but I will be having it removed soon, so you can wish me well in the comments. This rash that I don't hide on my neck, I don't hide it because I don't give a fuck. That's also from COVID, okay? Maybe it's part of long haulers, I don't know, I don't care. Bothers you more than me. I love every single one of my tattoos because they all have a special meaning. I have natural immunity, which is antibodies, so no, I won't get the vaccine. They're real and they're spectacular, and my voice has been raspy since I've been a little kid. Fuck out of here.
Dude, they're real and they're spectacular. No, they are real, okay? But, dude, what in the Staten Island is that? Dude, isn't that crazy? Oh, my God, dude. Now, her religion, guys, was running against AOC, and I thought she was running again. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit, guys, you ready? I like her sass. I do, okay? I do. Like, let me just tell you, if I went to Staten Island and I went into some bar and this woman was the bartender in Staten Island, I feel like you would have the greatest fucking night out ever if you were in a bar in Staten Island and she was your bartender. That would be so fun. Maybe you'd even go out and like do some blow with her afterwards and shit would get crazy. But as far as like voting for this woman to be in Congress, there's no fucking way, bro. Bro, right? There is no way, dude. Like, no fucking way would I vote for her. Like, I wouldn't vote for her to be on the fucking neighborhood association. Dude, she is wild. Oh, shit. Somebody said Sopranos character. Dude, absolutely. But she did not run this year, guys. She did not run. All right. So, but AOC, look at that, though. 87%. This is AOC's biggest fucking Democrat win ever. Right? Biggest primary win that she's had, dude. Oh, shit, bro. Right? And fucking John F. Kennedy's grandson lost. He got smoked. All right? He got the fucking, right? Which is crazy because he had Nancy Pelosi's endorsement. And he got the Nancy Mace treatment. Right? Dude, now this is pretty crazy, dude. Let's talk about this for a minute. All right? Because I want to talk about Brad Lander. Okay? Dude, let's go. Hold on. We got, dude, Dark Quote Nate, Pine Box. Let's go, baby. And we got Red Scare 40 to 50, Scare 2020 dash. Let's go. Let's go, Lady B. Fucking love it. So Meghan McCain has been on one, okay, about the Brad Lander, okay, about Dan Goldman losing, okay. This is what she's been going off on because Dan Goldman lost, all right? And look at what she posted. To my beautiful Jewish friends in America, we love you. You're not alone. We are just as freaked out as you are, and see with clear eyes exactly what is happening. But guys, this is about Dan Goldman. Okay, Dan Goldman apparently got kicked out of a coffee shop. He went to a coffee shop that was like super, anti-genocide. And they had a discussion with Dan Goldman. And then the coffee shop owner went on Instagram and basically was like, don't fucking come here anymore. All right. And now they're making this huge deal. And they're like, oh my God, we see what's happening. Like they won't let Jews go to the coffee shops. But like, guys, Brad Lander is Jewish. That district that Brad Lander won handily has a fuckload of Jewish voters. So you have a Jewish guy who beat another Jewish guy in a district that is like filled with Jewish people. And yet they're like saying, oh, Jews are unsafe. And it's like, Jews are totally safe. Okay. The only person that's not safe is the Netanyahu regime is maybe not getting any more money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, this is so crazy because look at what this person said. She said Brad Lander and Michael Lasher are Jewish New Yorkers being sent to Congress by Jewish New Yorkers, and non-Jewish, non-New Yorkers seem to have a real problem with that, allegedly on behalf of Jewish New Yorkers. And so, like, Meghan McCain's not Jewish, and she doesn't live in New York. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, these people that won are Jewish people, okay? They just don't want to fund Netanyahu. Now, here's what I thought was really interesting, okay? Was my take on this was about this, because this is baffling to me, guys, okay? Because follow my reasoning on this, because I looked at that tweet too, okay? So Jewish New Yorkers winning congressional elections in NYC districts that are filled with other Jewish New Yorkers is being called anti-Semitic. Like, what the fuck, dude? How is that? How is Jewish, like a district that has a bunch of Jewish voters that votes for Jewish guys to win those seats? How is that anti-Semitic when a Jewish guy is being elected by a lot of Jewish voters? Dude, that is such bullshit, because the problem isn't anything to do with Semitism or even the Jewish people. The problem is Brad Lander doesn't want to go to war in the Middle East anymore. He doesn't want to pay the war machine. And this has nothing to do with Jews or anti-Semitism. It's any Jewish person that doesn't want to fund the war machine is being called anti-Semitic by non-Jewish people. Okay? Meghan McCain is not Jewish, and she's implying that the Jewish guys that won are anti-Semitic or somehow endangering Jewish people, the Jewish guys that won in districts with a ton of Jewish voters. Dude, like, how mind-bending is that? That is so insane, okay? That is so insane to me. It is like, I cannot believe it. And this is where you know that, guys, can I just tell you, I find myself every day I wake up, I am like further to the left. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Every day that I wake up, I am finding myself further to the left. I'm like, every day, I'm like, oh shit, dude, because of this behavior, okay? Because of this behavior, because of, and seeing Democrats sort of echo the same sentiment. And I think what's interesting too is what Marauder said there is that, you know, Brad Lander was not like a crazy far lefty. Like, there are a lot of there are a lot of even Zionist Jewish people that are moving away from like Zionism or even like continuing to be Zionist, but realizing they don't want to support a war machine in it. Like there's a lot of shifting going on where a lot of Jewish people are waking up to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Where they're believing in, you know, in the unity of the Jewish people, but it's just about like that regime. Like they don't want to fund the fucking war regime anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really cool, guys, because I don't know about you. Yeah, no, Jews are not monolithic. And I can tell you guys, I was in a Jewish fraternity, okay, in college. And so I know a lot of people in various sort of, you know, from people that are just Jewish by being born into Jewish families, but they don't practice at all, to like Orthodox Jews that wear the prayer gown and, you know, they follow all of the shit with the fucking, you know, how they eat their food and shit and how they put their pants on in the morning. And there's such a huge variety. But one thing I always liked about all of them is that they were not like the Christians I grew up around, because they never pressured me to be religious. And that to me was always like part of my attraction to the Jewish culture, was them not pushing their religion, which was amazing. Because you grow up around Christians and all they do is relentlessly push. They're trying to convert you, right? And I mean, you know, the Jewish people aren't trying to convert anyone. They don't fucking care. They're fine just being left alone. You know what I mean? And like, dude, I really like that. I felt a real kinship with the way they practice their religion. But like, guys, they're like, my point about this is that the funding of the war machine, okay, the funding of the war machine is more anti-Semitic than speaking out against the war machine, right? You know what I'm saying? It is like the funding of the war machine is the anti-Semitic thing. It is the thing that is like tying Jewish people and their religion to this brutal fucking regime. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It is like, it is crazy, dude, how like toxic the war machine is in the whole equation, right? No, Jesus is not white. They don't believe in marrying out of their religion. Yeah, but to be honest with you, Christine, no religion that is practiced like devoutly wants and it believes in marrying someone outside of their religion. You know, that's not exclusive to the Jewish faith. I think it's more noticeable with the Jewish faith because they have a stricter adherence to the way they worship, whereas like there's many Christian sects. You know, there's like a whole bunch of Christian denominations, and the number of Jewish denominations is not as like, it's not as spread out, right? Like deeply Christian families don't want their kids marrying anybody but another Christian, you know, and that is pretty standard in a serious family. Oh, let's go. Dude, let's go, Anna. That's amazing. Ha! I love it. A Jewish person and a Catholic married with kids. Let's go. Dude, I love it. I don't know. I myself, I really like the Jewish culture. I do. I felt a kinship with it from the same. And yes, Muslims are Muslims are the same way as far as not pushing their shit on you. Dude, they're never going to preach their religion to you, boss. You know? And only the Christians are the fucking of the Abrahamic. They're the only ones that are, they're relentless. It's like, yo, give it a fucking rest, bro. But dude, this is crazy. Okay? This is so crazy, guys. I'm kid you not. Okay? I have some brothers that were in the Assembly of God Church, and they don't really talk to me anymore, but for like 20 years, guys, they would call me on my birthday and they would call me on Christmas trying to get me to get saved, asking me when I was ready to renounce my life of sin in music, and that if I don't get saved, like, you know, they're like, I'm gonna weep for you. I'm weeping for you. It's like, bro, give me a fucking break, dude. And I would always do something outrageous. You know, like, do you want to fucking, should we go to a strip club and talk about it? Or like, dude, how do you feel about this porn star? Dude, I would fucking go to town on it because they were so annoying. You know, they were so annoying. And it's like really weird. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird because they're the most insecure of the faith. Okay? I think they are. The evangelical Christians are the most insecure faith. They're so like, they can't be comfortable unless they are firmly in the center of their own kind. It's like really, really, it's weird. It's weird, dude. It is fucking weird, boss. It is very weird. Dude. Right? The gates of hell are open for me. Dude, bring them on. I like the heat, guys. All right, the goal ended. So we're in that same boat where now we need 26, all right? But because our goal ended, but I'm going to reset it. We'll do the do. In Modesto, oh man, dude. Dude, I can imagine the Christians in Modesto. There's a lot of drug users. Like, that was one of the things I noticed, guys, before we move on. That was one of the things I noticed when my brothers became part of the Assembly of God Church was the targeting, okay? They go after vulnerable people. And that's what they used to do. Like, they would find out somebody was like trying to get off drugs, and they would go and try to like reel them in. And that's what they did. They sought out people that were like depressed and vulnerable and scared, and they would go and like rope them in. It was incredibly predatory. And they like tell themselves they're doing it to like help these people, but it's really about them, guys. It is about them. They are trying to like conquer all of the non-believers. It is a weird, it's weird, dude. It is weird shit, boss. And it was an immediate turnoff for me when I saw how predatory they were. Dude, let's go. Paula. Here you go, Peter. All right. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪, Paula. All right, here we go. Hold on, we're gonna set it. I have to set it for 20, and then we'll do the 5. All right, because YouTube won't let me do 25. Because YouTube is brutal. All right. So, hold on. Moving on, though. I don't know if you saw this, but did you see this right here? Dude, the U.S. Postmaster General said the post office will not deliver ballots to states who refuse to comply with Trump's executive order wanting lists of voters. Here's the problem, guys. The Constitution says states run elections, but Trump is trying to federalize the elections. He's trying to break the Constitution. And now he's having his Postmaster General say, well, if you won't comply with Trump's federalization of the elections, I won't deliver ballots. Now, I'm assuming the Democrats are on this and they're coming out with a some type of plan. Oh, it's certainly going to get challenged in court because you can't fucking do that. You can't. The post office can't refuse to deliver mail because the president wants to break the Constitution. Did I miss Lady B's? Let me see if I missed it. I did. Let's go. I did miss yours. Lady B said, is what I meant by Red Rainbow Scare. They use propaganda. Excuse me. They use propaganda scares to move MAGA around everywhere. This color, that race, sex, socialist, fascist, etc. Got it. No, now that makes sense. Got it. You were saying like the Red Scare of McCarthyism in the 40s and 50s is like the trans and LGBTQ and fascist, socialist, communist, Marxist scares that they're trying to do now. That's like the same shit. Yeah, no, I get it now. Now it makes sense. Let's go. Dude, yeah, Benny and Brylin Hollyhand are fucking going at it. But yeah, dude, that shit is crazy. Now, last thing on Trump, and then we're moving on. I want to watch this Dave Rubin clip because this one is a doozy. But look at Trump here, dude. This shit is fucked up, boss.
Can I ask you one other question? Have you seen the report into the Minard school attack, sir? And could you tell us?
I have not seen it, no.
Why not?
At some point, well, I have to wait for it to be complete. I don't know that they're ever going to solve that problem. I mean, you could ask Pete, but I don't know that they're going to say it was one of our missiles. Pete, I don't know that they're ever going to solve that problem in terms of whose fault was it, because there were missiles flying all over the place.
So you won't accept
and it's horrible what happened, but there were missiles flying all over the place. And somebody said it was our missile. Well, maybe it wasn't our missile, but I've seen nothing to lead me to believe it was. There were plenty of missiles being flown by other people.
Dude, look at that shit. And they're just fucking sitting there. He's not going to acknowledge it. Okay? I mean, there's a plenty of evidence that looks like it is a U.S. Tomahawk missile. We're the only people with the Tomahawk missiles. It almost certainly was our fucking missile. But this guy, who can't even tell the truth about an election he lost, this guy who can't, tell the truth about a reflecting pool he fucked up, this guy is never going to take responsibility for anything. Anything. Okay? Nothing. There is going to be no responsibility from this administration for any of their actions because they're liars, they're cowards, they're mostly incompetent, they're reckless, they're sloppy, okay? They're not careful. They're not ideologically sound. They're tremendously dishonest, and they literally have no problem, being complete sociopaths. And they know, but he's just ducking, okay? Just ducking. He should be in jail, dude. He should. Dude, rather than a pine box, I would like him to be in jail. It's you, Jessica. Let's go see Punk. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, that shit. I am so bothered by this guy. But all right, moving on. Dude, man, New York City, I can't believe AOC got 87% of the vote, dude. She cleaned up. She cleaned up. The Rubin clip, thank you, Natalie. There, this guy. What a douche, bro. Duffy. All right. That one we can get rid of. That one I had queued up. Bye-bye, Jeffy. All right. Dude, Zoran. Dude, I love it. I'm loving the DSA now, guys. All right. This clip, dude, this clip is wild. Okay? Now, before we get into this, I do want to talk a little bit about Dave Rubin. Okay. I don't like Dave Rubin. I don't know how you guys feel about Dave Rubin, but I don't like Dave Rubin at all. And it goes for a number of reasons. Okay. It goes for there's a number of reasons why I don't like Dave Rubin. One, I mean, he blocked me. He's a wuss. But like that Russia shit was bad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That Russia shit was super toxic. Okay. Him and Benny and fucking Tim Pool. I mean, give me a fucking break, bro. They're taking like fat Russian cash. I mean, we know that these guys will flip-flop, and we know that these guys will move where the wind blows. Okay? Bendy. Yeah, Bendy Johnson and fucking Dave Rubin-esque. Dude, but like, I don't know. It's weird. The thing I don't like about Dave Rubin is this. I feel like Dave Rubin uses him being gay as like this sort of get out of like terrible on social issues jail free card. If that makes sense, right? Like this guy is a terrible human being who doesn't care about social fucking justice or human rights at all. But he's like, well, I'm gay. He acts like being gay makes him automatically exempt from the racism and the homophobia and all the nastiness of the right-wing social shit. Like, and you know who's doing this now too, right? You know who's doing the same thing now. Who is it? Drum roll, please. Let me see if you can guess. There's somebody else that's playing this same game right now. She just started it, right? Yes. No, I know nobody's typed it in yet, but fucking Jillian Michaels is doing the same thing, okay? Jillian Michaels is using her gayness as like a chip that allows her to be transphobic and allows her to sit in judgment of the extreme gays, right? But she's like, oh, but I'm gay. I'm one of them. So I'm like the voice, like even I see it, like even the gay people see how extreme these people are. And it's really devious. It's really devious when you are, you know, or like what Caitlyn Jenner is doing, Brianna fucking, Brianna Wu is kind of starting to do that. And, you know, the same thing now that she's all flipped out on Israel and, you know, where you start becoming the voice that is judging your own, like part of your own community. And then you're using your, like, you get some exemption from the community because you're a right winger and all you have to do is trash everybody and it becomes your little chip of like, oh, you know, yeah, I don't like that. I find that like super devious. Okay. Super devious because the thing is not every gay person is going to be the same, right? Okay. Not every gay person, they're a fucking tapestry. There are so many different kinds of people, right? But every gay person like shares the shared experience of being gay in this fucking homophobic fucking world we live in, you know? And so like there needs to be a minimum of acknowledgement and connection across those lines. And the people who act like they don't have that are like really piss me off. Okay. They do. They fucking piss me off. They're, you know, they're like the same people who claim to be Democrats, right? They claimed, you know, the people that, oh, I used to be a Democrat, but now I'm a crazy MAGA Trump voter. And it's like, no, you were never a Democrat. Okay. Right. Like every group, gay people. Yes. They're not a monolith. None of us are monoliths. You know what I'm saying? All right, you ready? So I don't like him. I find him fucking annoying, right? You don't see how any gay person or immigrant can be pro-Trump? Yeah, so I let me explain to you the thing about them is I kind of understand how immigrants and gay people can be pro-Trump. Okay? I know it doesn't make sense, but I think it is like they are really callous, resentful people, and they have a home in the movement because as long as they're callous and resentful with everybody else, they get acceptance. Like they get a special kind of acceptance in the MAGA party that they don't get in the Democratic Party. Okay, they do. They get a special kind of acceptance because everybody will be like, we love, love, love you, and because they're the proof that everybody's not homophobic or not racist. So the token black people and the token gay people and the token women in those movements, they get a type of like lavished, a type of, appreciation until, like Natalie says, until they get turned on, right? Until they get turned on. And then it gets ugly. But they get this special sort of like warm regard as long as they toe the line and do what they're told, But all right, anyway, dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗏 is amazing. I totally relate to his hairline, but let's watch this clip. Dude, Dems had a hearing about the ballots today. Let's go, Dark Woke. Let's go. All right, guys, 17 and 17, baby. Here we go. All right, we're going to watch this, and then Rubin's got his little remarks.
For a left thing. Why aren't people on the right wing concerned about human rights? They're human too.
This one was a little disappointing. John C. Reilly, you know John C. Reilly. I really know him from Boogie Nights, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. If you have not seen Boogie Nights from 1997 with Mark Wahlberg, it is a phenomenal, phenomenal movie. But he's also been in a lot of movies with, he was in what? Step Brothers. He was in Step Brothers. He's been in a lot of movies with Will Ferrell. Anyway, here he is on a podcast trying to explain suicidal empathy. He gets the phrase wrong, and just listen to this kind of drivel that comes out of these Hollywood lefties.
If you stand up for human rights, why is that a right or a left thing? Why aren't people on the right wing concerned about human rights? They're human too. This whole thing that like kind of has come into vogue of like empathy trap. It's an empathy trap. Like that's what Elon Musk says. Like empathy is like, don't be fooled by the empathy trap.
Yes.
Stick to your agenda and what's best for you.
Holy
They're talking about suicidal empathy, right? Elon Musk and that sad guy. Dude, that guy is so fucking annoying, bro. I don't even know who that guy is, but he is so annoying. Dude, all these pompous fucking rich assholes that talk about suicidal empathy. Suicidal empathy. All right, here we go.
Don't start feeling bad for so-and-so. They're on their own thing. Look out for number one. Like, it's like, wait a minute. Empathy is not a trap. Empathy is a superpower.
That's right.
That's what makes human beings exceptional, our ability to, like, look outside of ourselves. We're not an alligator trying to just get the next fish. We're human beings. We can relate to something that's not us, that... like that's a superpower. And it's also the cornerstone of civilization. The fact that we stay at the red light and don't just zoom out because we want to get through the light faster, because what will happen? Well, we might smash into someone. Well, you don't know that person. Yeah, but I still don't want to smash into them. Those are the building blocks of civilization. That's the agreement.
And
dude, I like that he mentions the agreement. Okay, that's the agreement, and that's it. It's like a social contract. Okay, there is a social contract in societies of like paying some taxes, helping out the less fortunate among you, sharing the rewards of everybody's labor, and pitching in and participating. Voting is part of a social contract. Voting for harm reduction, showing up, right? And I mean, it's just really, it's really, empathy plays in large part to that, because empathy is one of the ways that you get to most enjoy the social contract. You know what I'm saying? By like, I don't know. It's like you get, it's like your empathy allows you to have exposure to so many more like sides of the cube, if you will, of the whole life thing. Now, today it's really interesting because Jenny and I watched the movie Disclosure Day, which was a really good movie. And it's really interesting how the, you know, I don't want to give away the movie, but the alien civilization in Disclosure Day is like empathy is like a really big thing to them. Okay. The aliens are all about like the empathy. That's the cornerstone of it all. MAGA don't think they're humans. Obvious Neanderthals pride. Let's go see punk. Dude, I don't know, dude. It's like so weird because empathy is not a weakness. Okay? Empathy is not like I feel sorry for you. Empathy is not a like, ooh, you know, I need to empathy is not being compelled to do something. Empathy is simply an understanding, right? An understanding of like circumstances other than your own, right? It's this idea that my needs aren't always the most important thing. I mean, there are certainly times where my needs are the most important thing. Absolutely. There are absolutely times where your needs are the most important thing. But then there are other times where like you can get a great benefit from helping other people, you know, meet their needs, right? It's weird because these suicidal empathy guys seem to like, I don't know what their fucking major malfunction is. I mean, they're all sociopaths. The people use the phrase suicidal empathy because suicidal empathy doesn't exist. Okay? It does not exist. If you have empathy, it is never suicidal. Okay? It's codependence. If you are like thwarting your own existence and you are giving too much to somebody else and you are ignoring your own situation while trying to fix another, that is codependence. Okay? That has nothing to do with empathy. That is completely different. Empathy is like far, far from codependence. Okay? And codependence is about you trying to avoid your own fucking situation. You know? Suicidal empathy. Give me a fucking break, dude. Give me a break. All right? They're like, dude, give me a break. As an Australian, I hate Trump. And as a U.S. president, because it has risen the popularity of the One Nation Party in Australia, his effect on the world is so bad. Oh, Bush Raider. So yeah, he's emboldening all the right-wing shitters in your country too, huh? Of course he is, right? All right.
We treat, and it's very Catholic too. Do unto others, you know. Treat your brother as you would treat yourself, you know, like.
And to your point about the right wing,
it's crazy that we have to argue for these things right now. It's the world, that's a really upside down world feeling to me.
All right. First off, empathy in and of itself is not a superpower. If you want to talk about what separates us from the animals, it might be that being able to regulate our emotions. Animals can have emotions, but they have no ability to regulate those emotions, right?
Dude, he is full of shit. Dude. He is full of, what is he even talking about? Every animal that experiences emotions regulates emotions. Go hang out with a cat or a dog. Dude, they regulate their emotions all the time, bro. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Dude, they don't regulate their emotions. Deer, yes. Oh my God. Every animal regulates their emotions. But wait, guys. It's about to get even stupider. Okay, here we go.
So an animal, we've all seen this with a dog or with a monkey. They can be happy and they can be playful and they can be angry and they can be fearful. Obviously, what separates us from the animals is that we can properly regulate those as humans with functioning brains.
Regulate those? All right, you ready? Dave Rubin, I'm sorry there, buddy. But newsflash for you. You ready? you can't regulate emotions, okay? Nobody regulates emotions. That's the problem, okay? The problem is you can't regulate them. When you experience rage, you can't turn it off unless you stuff it, unless you try to control it like the Andrew Tate philosophy. And what do those guys do? They get violent down the road. They hit women. They hit vulnerable people. Why? Because they've suppressed their shit, and it creates a bigger explosion of rage later. You cannot regulate fucking your emotions. What you can do is you can acknowledge them and experience them, and you can like lean into them, but you can't, if you feel rage, you can't just make that rage, oh, I'm not going to be rageful. I'm going to be happy right now. I mean, you can suppress it, but it's so fucking damaging. You know what I mean? I mean, the thing is like we have the ability to experience emotions, identify them, and then work through them. But like regulating, dude, I don't know, dude. It's like he now wait though, because I feel like this ties in, because his idea of regulating is you can suppress them, right? Like he can be scared and, oh, I'm not scared anymore. Or as a man, you can be really upset. Oh, I'm not upset anymore. I'm happy. But wait until you see what he considers a human right. Okay? Right? Because think about this. He said regulating emotions is your superpower, right? Suppressing your emotions. But wait till you see his take on human rights.
Elon is not saying, and Gadsad is not saying, have no empathy. They're saying don't have empathy to the point that it overrides all of your other faculties. So what was the line? He goes, why is the right not concerned with human rights? It's like, what are you talking about? The right, which is trying to make sure that America has a border and that we have clean cities and safe streets. Those are basic things that you might consider human rights. The right is trying to do it, but he will sit there and go, no, it's the left, because we say no one is illegal and everyone is. Also, is that even John C. Reilly? It looked like a guy in a John C. Reilly mask.
All right, but guys, look at what he said. Okay, look at what this fucking guy said. He said the right is, he called the border, clean cities, and safe streets human rights. But guys, you ready for this? The border, clean cities as they define them, or safe streets, all of that is policing. All of that right there, all of this, as they see it, is oppression. The border is patrolled and by police. It is policed. Clean cities mean everybody who's not living up to a whatever standard is cleared out. They're put in jail, they're rounded up, they're moved, they're removed. Safe streets means policing. And, oh, jaywalking, anything you do wrong, oh, you grabbed a piece of the reflecting pool, you threw a sandwich, you're going to jail. This is all policing. This is all oppression, okay? Human rights have nothing to do with a border or right. You know what I mean? Like a human right means I have a right to not be put in a cage. I mean, that's kind of a human right. Like, even if you're punishing me, you don't get to put me in a cage, right? You know, that's a human right. I have a right to not be put in a cage. I have a right to not be silenced, you know, by the fucking government. I have a right to not have a gun pointed at my face if I'm jaywalking or during a traffic stop, right? I have a right to be able to fucking tell the cop to fuck off and have him not put a gun to my head and beat the fucking shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but isn't it weird though that the guy who thinks policing and oppression is human rights is also the guy who thinks our superpower is like suppressing our emotions? Because his whole idea of like his whole idea of, you know, existence is about like pushing things down, suppressing them, controlling them, like minimizing, being calm. You know what I mean? It is like not experiential at all. There's no real liberty in his worldview. His worldview is about being controlled and suppressed and right, and everything, the appearance of togetherness, right? Whereas like real freedom is experiential, okay? It's messy. It is like people having agency, you know? And I mean, that's the thing that's really interesting. The thing that complicates homelessness, if you have somebody on the streets that is struggling with like a drug addiction, you can't force a drug addict to get sober. It's just not possible. I am 19 years sober, and let me just tell you, it's not possible, okay? So like even a drug addict has a sense of like, they have to have a sense of agency over themselves because they're never going to be able to conquer that addiction if you take away their agency. They're going to be forever trapped. You know, taking away people's agency is not part of the deal. But it's really interesting to see this because he doesn't even understand what human rights are. Okay? He doesn't. He doesn't understand what human rights are because human rights are this idea that like everyone has a sense of liberty and personal agency, okay? And his idea is more about like, you know, there should be a locus of control that like provides direction, okay? And I don't know, is Dave Rubin religious? I don't know enough about this guy, but is he religious too? Or is he not religious? I'm curious about his religious leanings. Man, you know, because I think one of the things that I notice, right? One of the things that I noticed about, you know, earlier watching that Sean Duffy clip is how the right wingers, they tend to believe in God-given rights. So I think to them, human rights don't even apply. Like they don't even think about human rights existing because they consider their rights to come from this creator. And so therefore, if you're not in relationship with the creator, they don't think you even deserve rights, right? And that's what's really interesting about it is they don't believe in human rights. They only the rights that come from the creator. And that's fucked up. But dude, how crazy is it? Okay? How crazy is it that he thinks this is human rights, dude? Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild that he thinks the border and clean cities and safe streets are human rights? So he was an atheist and expressed openness to faith. All right. That to me though is crazy because like, bro, this is all policing. All three of these things are policing. That is like all he believes in is police, right? He believes that he believes that, you know, undesirable people should be policed. And, oh, but who decides who's undesirable? Oh, he does. Dude. Yo, Rubin, what up, boss? Dude, fuck you, buddy. What's going on? Dude, how's a gay man end up in MAGA, dude? You are really not repping the homies, boss. Dude, what's up with that haircut, too? Dude, how's that Russian money? Right? Do you get to look at the P tape when you take that Russian money or what? Because, I mean, you seem to polish a lot of Trump knob. I'm trying to figure out how you make that happen. How you live with yourself? Huh? You border? You think the border is human rights, bro? I get life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness because there's a border? You fucking dumb shit. All right, fuck you. Bye-bye. Dude, what an idiot. Oh my God. Dude, that is crazy. Right? Dude. I gotta say this though. I'm a little surprised that Boogie Nights is like a movie he loves so much. Because Boogie Nights is like top 5 of my movies. I'm a huge Paul Thomas Anderson fan, at least early Paul Thomas Anderson. And so Boogie Nights is one of my favorite movies. But how does this guy like Boogie Nights, man? I mean, I find that a little baffling. You know what I'm saying? I really do. It's a great film. I mean, it's like, you know, rags to riches to rags to riches. It's one of those, you know, rebirth. And maybe that's what he likes about it, like rebirth. Maybe he likes the big dick. Yeah, he likes that big dick that you see at the end. He's not actually on the right. See, that's interesting. That's an interesting concept that maybe he's not. Maybe he's not actually a right winger. Okay? Because it's possible that because he is gay and because he is, you know, whatever, I know he started in the TYT pipeline, because he is not, you know, completely religious, it's possible that he is like a left winger and just right wing for money. You know, I mean, Candace Owens is not really a right winger. Okay. She's a lefty. Okay. Donald Trump is not a fucking right winger, guys. I hate to break it to all the MAGA shitters. Donald Trump is not a fucking right winger. I mean, he's a degenerate, grapist piece of shit. And he is now a MAGA shitter. But Donald Trump has no real conservative fucking values at all, dude. Right? You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of these people, you know, are right wing for money. Right? Trump is a nihilist. Dude, that he is too. He's a sociopath. Okay? But dude, Trump is not anti-abortion. Okay? Trump doesn't believe in God. He's not religious at all. He does not believe in any sort of like moral chastity. Okay? Trump is a hedonist from beginning to end. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Dude, he is very like woman hater. Okay? He's definitely woman hater. You know, that's the only real fucking thing. Okay. So we needed 25. We got 6. All right. So we're like basically 20 away, guys. All right. We're going to fucking reset. Thank you. I missed the thing. Let me reset. Dude, Tucker is pretty crazy. Now, guys, we're about to watch a Tucker video with 𝗙𝗪cie 𝗶𝗏𝗏 and Cenk 𝗙𝗪 because, guys, I'm trying to figure out what Tucker's game is, and I have some interesting new thoughts on Tucker that I want to process with with this video of 𝗙𝗪cie 𝗶𝗏𝗏 and shit talking about fucking Tucker Carlson, okay? Because I am curious. I am really intrigued what he's going to do in 2028 because I think I see something in the tea leaves, guys, that I hadn't seen before. And so we're going to watch this video and then I'm going to run something by you and see what you think of my little theory. Because I have a new tea leaf theory because I've been trying to figure out like, what is this party realignment we're going through, right? Like, what is the realignment? there's some shit going on where there's rifts happening because of Israel, and people are starting to sort of like opt away from MAGA. They're turning on Trump, but they're moving towards this America First movement. And now Marco Rubio became like Trump's guy. So Vance is out. And so you're like, well, where's Vance going to go? Where is his place? And then what about Erica Kirk? How does she fit into this thing? And guys, I think I have a new theory. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And I think there is, we saw Vance talking about Israel the other day, where Vance was like, Israel should be thankful, right? Israel should be thankful that you know, we're still like protecting them or whatever. He was like sort of negative towards Israel. I think we're going to see a Vance Tucker collaboration, guys. I think, and that would make sense for Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur because they were in the poly market sort of Vance extended family. I think a Vance Tucker fucking thing, I think a Vance Tucker collab is going to be in the works, guys. And what I would not support. You know what I was wondering? Check this out. I was wondering if J.D. Vance would run for president with Tucker Carlson as his VP. Right? J.D. Vance with Tucker as VP, which like unites the MAGA people that like J.D. and it unites all of the defectors that went to the Candace Tucker camp, and they would unite around like, you know, this Israel stuff, because J.D. Vance, he will have whatever beliefs get him power. Okay, J.D. Vance doesn't care, right? He doesn't care like what he believes in. Even if he's a Zionist, he could become anti-Zionist if it gets him in the White House, right? Isn't that weird? Wouldn't that be weird? Like that is like, I could see JD going with someone like Tucker to try and get fucking, JD Vance going with Tucker to try and get like the street cred, the cool cred of like, you know, anti-establishment cred, and the like really concerned about what happened to Charlie Kirk, the anti-deep state cred, right? Whereas Marco Rubio is not going to run on the deep state. Okay, Marco Rubio is not going to run about fighting the deep state. Marco Rubio is just going to run on, like, I don't know what he's going to run on, dude. He's going to run on the death rattle of Trump's MAGA. But yeah, let's watch this.
I would not support the Republican Party. There's no chance I would support the Republican Party. I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. I don't know what I'm going to do. But at this point, you know, how could I or any American voter support a political party that's not loyal to the United States?
Wow. That's Tucker Carlson leaving the Republican Party today. But he's not the only one.
Dude, first off, though, look at how happy Cenk is. Oh, wow. Well, like, guys, this is the same Tucker Carlson who, like, lied about the election for years and got shit canned from Fox News. $787 million, right? Like, dude, Tucker Carlson will lie, cheat, and steal and have no qualms, right? He said a demon attacked him in his bed, right? But Cenk's like, wow, he left the Republican Party. Oh, wow, Tucker just sold me a bridge in New York City. Oh, wow, dude, Tucker sold me a bridge.
Another giant figure joined on right afterwards. Ana, tell us about it.
Well, there is another giant figure who has vocally announced that she will no longer be part of the Republican Party, but I'm going to keep teasing you with that and show you a little more of what Tucker had to say first, because it is informative in regard to what is convincing Americans across the political spectrum to abandon their previously preferred political parties. More from Tucker.
How could I or any American voter support a political party that's not loyal to the United States, that puts the interests of a foreign country above those of its own citizens? That's it's not possible to vote for people like that, and I'm not going to. And I think I voted Republican my entire life. I worked at Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. I've been a consistent defender for 35 years of the Republican Party. I mean, very consistent defender. But there's no defending this because it's immoral, and it's exactly the opposite of what a political party in a democracy is charged with doing, which is representing its own voters, its own citizens, its own nation, and they're not doing that. So no, I'm out. And if I'm out, then I think a lot of other people are out.
I don't think he's wrong about that. In fact, soon after that was announced, Marjorie Taylor Greene posted the following: Tucker is not the only one who is done supporting the Republican Party. There is a lot of us that are absolutely fed up and will not support a party that betrays its voters and country. That does not mean we are turning into Democrats either, but we are done with the America Last Republican Party.
So what does that mean? Like, that means they're not voting anymore? Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is inherently bullshit. They're just done voting? No more voting for them because they're not Democrats, but they're done supporting the Republican Party. So now they're going to what? They go into the moon on one of Elon's rockets?
So I can't tell you guys how much that resonates with me, but in the opposite direction, right? So under Biden, and after witnessing what the Democratic Party was willing to aid and abet in Gaza, I can't support that party. Honestly, the Biden administration is representative of the mainstream Democratic Party. So I'm not a registered Democrat. I'm now a registered independent.
But dude, why isn't she a DSA, guys? How, if that's really her thing, why is Ana not DSA? Right? She said it, witnessing what the party did, being complicit with the genocide. Why is she not DSA? She hates the DSA. How? How can you be against, right? How can you be against the genocide and the Israeli war machine, and simultaneously you don't have right-wing socialist social values, right? Which is the right-wing religious oppression values. How can you not be a progressive like DSA member? That to me, something is amiss, okay? There is something that she's lying about somewhere in the chain there. Because if you're not religious and you don't have the oppression and the straight out racism and fucking all that toxic social culture war shit, if you're not openly identifying on that and you're against the war machine, then you're a DSA, right? You're right. I mean, I know she's anti-trans, and I think there's some racism involved here too, for sure. And she's definitely, I feel like she's, a little too happy merchant kind of. But all right, let's see what she says.
And a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, if you don't support the Democrats, that must mean that you're a secret Republican. No, I loathe the Republican Party as well, big time. And so the largest voting bloc at this point in this country, registered independents. People hate both parties. They are both corrupted. They are both bought, and they don't represent us.
So, God, this game is so rigged because,
dude, people aren't independents because necessarily they hate both parties. I think a lot of right wingers are independents because they don't want to be found out they're Republican. Dude, all right? There might be some left wingers that are independent because they're mad at the Democratic Party. But let's be honest. Most right wingers are independent because they don't want anyone to know they're fucking Republicans. Okay? And they sacrifice voting in the primaries for the cover from being a Republican douchebag.
you could tell based on what mainstream media does, right? So we told you 100 times if they'll disagree on cultural war issues meant to divide us, but the minute their donor wants something like don't do a student debt relief, don't do higher minimum wage, don't do a public option.
Don't enforce antitrust laws.
Yeah.
Stuff that hurts the American people but helps the moneyed interests, the corporate world, and pushes us toward terrible foreign policy.
And of course, if Israel wants something,
Right.
right? And they're a giant donor class, all of a sudden, all the cable news guys unite and they're all on the same page. And we've shown you that repeatedly here, including today, as of today, pushing out message after message. So in this case, we have all of them, of course, attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson. But what's interesting in what Ana said is, and it made me realize something right now in the middle of the show. So we've been telling you that independents are the largest voting bloc now for a long time, right? But you never hear that on cable news or in mainstream media. And in fact, they only talk about Republicans and Democrats. And if anyone ever disagrees with the leadership of either side, they go, "You're disloyal. You're disloyal to your own party."
Yes,
dude. All right, 𝗙𝗵𝗆, let's go, dude. All the candidates are Republicans or Democrats. There's only a handful that run as independent candidates, but like that's not exactly accurate. What he's saying here.
And so
Yes.
they go, no, you have to be a Republican or a Democrat.
Yes.
And if they ever talk about independence, which is super weird that they're not talking about the largest voting bloc in the country ever.
Dude, they talk about him all the time. Like, are you shitting me? Like, dude, it is like the trying to woo independent voters is literally what they talk about during all of election season is like winning over the independents. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. That is literally all you hear on the media is because it's so polarized. The Dems are with the Dems, the MAGA's with the MAGA, and then everybody's fighting for the independent voters, or they'll call them the working class voters, or there's a bunch of euphemism for them, right? The white working class voters. But it is generally the people that like bounce both ways. And let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. I believe, I have not looked at the data, but I think most of the independents are white people, okay? I bet if we looked at the data, I believe that most of the independents in America are white people because they can vote for either party and they're relatively unscathed. They're pretty much unaffected by either party's policies, okay? Even a liberal white person can vote for a Republican president if they don't like the Democratic candidate, and they're gonna be unaffected by that Republican's policies because their policies are always protecting the white people, right? And so, that's my thought on that, And I also think that a lot of them are right-wingers who don't want to be identified.
The only time they talk about them is to disparage them. Low information voters.
Yes, Jake.
They don't really know what they're doing.
And look, back in the day.
Oh, you see that though? Dude, look at that though. Low information voters though are not independents. I think low information voters are actually like, that's more MAGA. Dude, why are they so in love with MAGA? Like, what the fuck is their obsession about, like, MAGA? Cenk and Ana. They are in love with MAGA. They will, like, throw progressives under the bus. They appear to resent them. But with MAGA, they're like, man, we just want to be nice and recruit MAGA. They want everybody. Yeah, I know, Gardner. Yeah, the independents can't vote in primaries here. Dude.
Back in the day, maybe there was some truth to the idea that registered independent voters are low information voters, but that's not the case right now. If anything, the reason why it has become the largest voting bloc is because they have firsthand knowledge and experience of getting screwed by their party, which they previously preferred. And Jake, you make such a great point about the push for
that sounded pretty personal, didn't it, right there? Being screwed by the party. Dude, isn't it funny? Watch her say that part. Dude, she's talking about herself right there.
Why it has become the largest voting bloc is because they have firsthand knowledge and experience of getting screwed by their party, which they previously preferred. And Jake, you make such a great point about
that was personal.
Push for loyalty to a political party or politicians within that party. Because what that does is it kind of perverts the entire democratic process we're supposed to have, where people literally volunteer and run for public office because they allegedly want to be public servants. But then they get voted into office and it feels like we're supposed to be their servants, essentially providing cover for their bad behavior, for their failures, for their refusal to actually make good on their campaign promises. We need to get back to a place, regardless of where you actually stand on the political spectrum, we need to get back to a place where the American people, ordinary citizens, voters, have high standards for our politicians and remind them, no, you work for us. You raised your hand and volunteered to do this. You wanted to work for us. So either you do that or we're done with you. It's that simple.
Dude, these people are like, they love Tucker Carlson now. That's weird.
And so now a lot of people are doing that, and the people who used to be the most loyal, because once you tell us about who the next person is, so we just mentioned Marjorie Taylor Greene, right?
Yep.
In fact, I'll do it. The next person who then came out, and not on the Republican side, but on the Democratic side, was Joy Reid. To be fair, actually, she came out before Tucker Carlson to get the chronology right, and said, I don't know that I'm gonna stay in the Democratic Party if they keep saying we have to do everything that Israel wants.
You know what? I really, really respect her for saying that. Because I always kind of thought of her as a loyalist to the Democratic establishment.
She was, and I went on Joy's show, which you should check out, and she's completely changed. And she has a totally a different attitude, which I love.
That sounds amazing. And maybe
dude, who is paying them? I mean, one of the first things I noticed about TYT's recent adjustment is, you remember they used to have the blue background? Guys, the blue background, but this is like a background they had many years ago. They went back to this old, like red, white, and blue background, this weird disjointed flag, ribbon looking shit. But for the longest time they had the blue, right? But now they are fucking switching gears and dipping their toes into that right wing, like they are, Anna's talking about homeschooling. They look at what they said about the, they called independent voters low information voters, which is like strictly, that is like a MAGA identifier, right? Dude, 𝗙𝗵𝗆unk, let's go. Let's go, guys. We got 11 minutes, 18 and 11, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So they're using a lot of MAGA terminology and a lot of supporting a lot of MAGA, satellites of MAGA ideals and shit without being open MAGA. Yeah, I hate this background, dude. It's so gross.
Maybe it's the cable news brain rot.
Think about it, guys. Yeah. Look, me and Joy were on MSNBC. Tucker was on and Megyn Kelly were on Fox News. And they now say that about Fox News, like we got fed a lot of propaganda over there. We regret the things that we've said there. And they were
everybody who gets fired has that attitude.
The most diehard loyalist to the Republican Party. Joy Reid was the most diehard loyalist to the Democratic Party and the Democratic leadership, right? Now we're all going, wait, now that we're unshackled from mainstream media and Washington, you take the blinders off, it becomes so obvious that we're being manipulated into supporting Israel.
And guys, just going back to what the two parties use to divide us, but also provide this illusion that they're very different parties representing different interests. There's a political scientist out of Ireland.
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, they didn't fire Joy Reid because she was like being supportive of the Democratic fucking power structure. Yeah, you like how he used shackled, unshackled? I mean, guys, what are they doing? The words they're using. I feel like they are being so deliberate in, you know, like even with that Unshackled, they're making this subtle reference that if you watch mainstream media, you're being enslaved, right? They're fucking, the words they are using are so like precise and really deliberate. You know what I mean? They're really deliberately like layering in these right-wing sort of identities. I consistently see them trying to lay the groundwork for right-wing ideology using left-wing terminology and reasoning, right? They're like, it's like they say, we're a left-wing show, and then every brush they use to paint has like just a little bit of right-wing paint on there that's like mixing in with every bit of their left-wingness. But the overall picture, you step back and you're like, wow, it's not blue, it's red. That is totally red. You know what I mean? And that is fucking, that is crazy.
Away, but he wrote an incredible book. His name's Peter Mayer, M-A-I-R. And he had a theory about political parties in his country and how they very heavily leaned into divisive social issues in order to do exactly what we're experiencing in our political system right now. So why did the transgender issue, for instance, become such a gigantic issue, wedge issue during the last election?
Dude, why? Because the Republicans made it that way, right? That's why. The Republicans harped on this shit, and then most of the people in the left and the middle didn't fight it. They were just like, oh, we're going to ignore it, until it became like the entire conversation was only what the right-wing people were saying. And then if you look at people from like the DSA people, look at Zoran Mamdani. He appoints transgender members of his fucking administration unapologetically. He will not shy away from like, you know, like talking about people's right to exist and shit like that, okay? Like literally, hey, Ana, you know, the Republicans made that shit their primary thing, and then you agreed with them. Right? You know what I'm saying? He did a whole ad supporting trans people, yes. But what did Ana do? Ana like flipped out about a birthing person, which nobody had ever called her. Ana started like, you know, identifying with anti-trans people and going on their podcasts and commiserating with like how bad like trans activists are. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. Oh my God. All right, let's see what she says here though. What she says about why it became such an issue. Is she going to blame it on trans people?
Political system right now. So why did the transgender issue, for instance, become such a gigantic issue, wedge issue during the last election? When you consider how, you know, small the transgender population is. Like, we have so many problems in the country. Why was everyone harping on that one issue again and again and again? Because it's divisive, it leads to fighting among ordinary Americans over like, perceived scary things that are happening in some cases. In some cases, you know, you're not allowed to have a debate or a conversation about it. It just, everyone was at each other's throats on that issue. And I think it was very much intentional. I think the Republican Party was really good at bringing that issue up again and again and again.
Well, the Republican bring it up because the Christians get super activated by that. And everybody else just has to fucking stand up and not back down to that shit.
Just be careful with what they're trying to distract you with. Keep your eye on the prize.
See, here's the problem. This is what I hate about these fucking grifters, okay? Because Ana's like, be careful what you get distracted with. But like, yo, Ana, for the whatever 3 million transgender people in America, it's not a fucking distraction. It's their life, okay? Texas is trying to criminalize their existence. They've had their passports taken away. They've been dead named. They've been fucking, right? You know what I'm saying? They're denied medication and health care. And so it's like they can't just not be distracted by the culture war, you dumb fuck. It's like the culture war is only a distraction for the people that are like not affected by it. Okay? It's for the actual people at the heart of that culture war, it is fucking life and death for them. Okay? You know what I mean? Birthing person was distraction, but trans rights are not distraction. And there's a goddamn trans woman in Congress right now. So don't tell me that this is some sort of like, ooh, right? It's like, fucking A, dude, we have a trans woman in Congress, which means that like the trans people are winning, okay? And trans rights are very much, it's a war that's being fought and won. And so it's not a goddamn distraction, okay? The phrase men and women sports is a distraction, but the issue isn't men and women sports. The issue is transgender rights. Like I had some asshole in my replies who said, you think boys can be girls? And it's like, what I told him was, yo, dumb fuck, nobody thinks boys can be girls. But trans people exist, okay? Boys cannot be girls, but there are transgender people. You know what I mean? It's not about boys becoming girls. That's denying the existence of trans people. That's saying there are only boys or girls, so a transgender person is a boy trying to be a girl or a girl trying to be a boy. It's like, no, there are fucking trans people. Boys becoming girls does not exist, okay? Men and women sports does not exist, right? You know what I mean? Unless it's some right-wing asshole trying to make a point, you know? But this idea that, ooh, the culture war is a distraction. Yeah, the culture war is a distraction for people with no policies, the MAGA shitters that have no platform, no healthcare, no policies, and they're trying to get the religious people activated to fucking vote for them out of fear of like going to hell or losing their religion. So they generate that shit, but the rest of us should just be defending people. You know what I'm saying? Defending fucking people, bro. And like, you can't not defend people because they're making up a bunch of lies. Dude, let's go. You're welcome, political punk. Thanks, political punk. You're welcome. Dude, Night Gardener, let's go. We got 2 minutes. All right, we're going to pause. We need 15 and 2, baby. You think we can get this? Bring dresses for men back? Dude, dresses are amazing. Dude, Harry Styles. I feel like Harry Styles in a dress. Love it, boss. 15 and 2. Ah. Yes. Dude, yeah, I like that. Trans girls and boys are in fact girls and boys. C-Punk, let's go! Dude. 14, guys! Let's get it. Here's your taste. Let's go. Ooh. Kurt Cobain? Dude, Kurt Cobain was, he was a little scruffed in a dress. I think Harry Styles actually looks pretty good in a dress, right? Dude, I like dresses. I used to wear them on stage. I don't know. I wish men's fashion had more interesting shit. See the backside? Let's go. Dude, you'll have to see it at the dance party. Right? Let's go. 1 minute, guys. 13 away. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, yeah, that shit pisses me off. Dude, let's go. C-Punk. Let's go. Ooh. 12 away, guys. All right. We're going to try to maybe we'll get 2 more and then we'll do the final run of 10. Fucking get this dance party secured. Dude, Breckos. 11 away. Dude, we could get it in 20 seconds, right? Dude, we'll try to hit 1 more here and then we'll reset for the final 10. Dude, we're getting it. Dude, this shit gets me heated, though. It really does. Like, Like, the culture war is, there it is. We doing it, Korg. Let's go. All right, 10 away, guys. The culture war is being waged by the Republicans and the MAGA fucking shitters. But, like, we don't have to fight the culture war. We have to continue fighting for people's civil rights and their human rights. You know what I'm saying? That's the war we should be fighting. The culture war is letting them say men and women's sports without fucking silencing it and deconstructing it. Okay? The culture war is being mute while they fucking boil people's entire existences down into stupid, unrealistic taglines. Okay? We can be defending people's fucking human rights and defending and protecting people. That is not fighting the culture war. You know what I'm saying? 𝗙Punk, reset for another 10. Let's go. All right, let me get it. We're going to reset. Good morning, late to the party. Let's go, Kim. Let's go. 326. Yeah. Oh, shit, dude. They're investigating 𝗲𝗏. Dude, what idiots, bro. Of course they are. Dude, Trump's entire admin is full of idiots. All right. I'm going 10 and 15, guys. We're doing a 15-minute grind here to get the last of the dance party, all right? Let's go. 10 away. Boom, boom, boom. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're going to make it happen. All right. Dude, 𝗲𝗏. Dude, those guys are fucking wacky. All right, Anna.
Two quick things I'll add to that. One, whenever Israel's in trouble, they always launch a distraction. Okay, so like for example, in the UK, they're going back several years and bringing back grooming gangs. Oh, remember, you have to hate the Muslims. Don't look at Epstein and all the child pedophilia there and etc. Don't look at the wars that you got that are super unpopular in the UK. Muslims, you got to hate the Muslims. It's part culture war to divide us. Yeah. Part a way to say, don't hate Israel, hate the Muslims. One of their pundits here in America, while talking to the conservative guy that I debated, the Indian guy, Dinesh D'Souza.
Dude, he doesn't even remember who he's fucking talking about. Dude, 𝗙Punk, let's go. All right, I'm done watching these guys. Let's watch the other clip though here, okay? This is Tucker on JD Vance. I want to watch two separate clips here because I've been trying to figure out what is Tucker's play.
All right. What's your take on JD Vance? Do you think he is still America first? Because I know you were friends.
I love JD Vance.
You do.
I know. Yeah, I know JD so well, and Vice President Vance, and I've known him since long before he got into politics, and I know his family well, and my wife knows. I mean, I think of him as a friend. I will always think of him as a friend, and I was an ardent advocate for him being vice president, for him getting elected to the Senate. I've always been a big JD Vance fan because, and I remain, think he's in an impossible situation. You know, the vice president does not make the policy. The vice president works with, but really for the president. He can't be fired because he was elected, but he works for the president. The president chose him. And this president has completely betrayed his own voters. And so that leaves the vice president, who was the hope of many of those voters, including me, in a horrible situation. And every day I feel sorry for JD Vance. Every day I say a prayer for him.
Do you talk to him still?
Always consider him a friend. I wouldn't want to wreck his life more than it has been wrecked by even talking about that. But I will just say that I remain a fan, and I'm glad I'm not in that position.
So what is your advice to him then in terms of what he does here, and could you get behind him?
What he does is very limited. He can only do so much right now.
I mean, I don't know what he could do. I mean, I know what I would do, but I wouldn't ever get anything done. I mean, that's the thing. People like me in general don't get a lot done because they're so committed to saying what they think is true all the time, and they have all these inflexible principles, and they're just like hard to deal with. That's why I've gotten fired so much in my life.
But
I've
you
been fired a lot.
Yeah. Dude, he got fired from Fox for fucking lying. All right, for lying. Dude, this guy is so detached from reality.
What I would do, of course, is I would march into the Oval Office and say to Trump, like, knock it off. Like, this is ridiculous. This is the opposite of what we ran on.
Wait, hold on. This is the same guy, the same Tucker Carlson, who was in the oil meeting with Donald Trump. Remember? Remember when Trump had that oil meeting, guys? Right? Trump had the big meeting with the oil fucking people. And there's Tucker Carlson. But, Tucker Carlson, even as Trump's friend, has him on speed dial, doesn't say shit to him, dude. Right? He goes to the oil meeting and fucking hangs out. Ridiculous? You know it. Let's go, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃. Let's go. Isn't that funny?
What are you doing? And you either stop doing it, or I'm going to give a press conference every single day from my house and explain to the world what you're doing and why. And I'm going to attack you. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Well, that's pretty much what you've done
for the country.
That's what you've sort of done.
Well, no, but I'm saying if I were vice president,
yeah,
and I wouldn't get anything done. I'm not sure. What I'm saying is that I'm not sure that that's the right thing to do.
Right.
JD Vance, and this is obvious if you watch him, has a different personality where he's always trying to make things better. He doesn't throw up his hands in rage and say, you're too disgusting, I'm not dealing with you. He says, I disagree with this, that, and the other thing, but what can we improve? And that's a different way of operating in the world. It's a way that I respect. I respect him for that. I always have. And I'm the guy who's like, you know what? You make me sick. I'm out. And that's why I guess I'm in journalism, right?
So, dude, all right, Korg, all goes up to billionaire tycoons ensuring political power and wealth through every division they can successfully platform on. Yes. So let's look at this, though, guys, because I've been trying to figure out what is Tucker's angle. Okay, what's his angle? Is he running for president in 28? He's opting out of MAGA. He's a little bit going against Trump. Trump obviously is soured on JD, and Marco Rubio's the guy. Dude, Marco Rubio is never going to be president. He is not. That guy just does not have any fucking oomph, to unite a whole party. If I were vice president, yeah, right, Kim, let's go. But now, think about this, guys. Think about what he has done here, okay? Tucker has gone out and said negative things about Trump, but he's essentially clearing Vance's name. There has been a rift with Vance hanging out with Erica Kirk, and they're sort of tight with the TPUSA, but then Tucker is in the Candace camp, and Candace is all over Erica Kirk, and they're like Zionist, right? And then what was going on with JD? What did we see recently with JD Vance? We saw this little clip, okay, where Vance, for the first time, like Vance is a Zionist, but watch this clip right here, okay?
Now, I saw the Axios report, that Netanyahu is fuming. That's not reflective of the conversations that I've had with him, but maybe he's saying something to somebody else that he's not saying to me. What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you've seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some...
Dude, that is... Now, again, he's a fucking liar. All of these guys are liars. But that is the first sort of like, I'm not 100% defending Israel that we've ever seen JD Vance. This is the first statement that makes it seem like, he and Tucker could sit at the same table together and forge a path together, right? It's like, you know, I mean, he did remove it from Netanyahu and place the blame on the cabinet members, but it is JD Vance dipping his toes in like, you know, not defending Israel.
Some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path. But to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the President of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
So that is like, you know, that's pretty not your normal JD Vance. Okay. That is like to me, when I saw that, I was like, dude, he's posturing. And what he's doing is, you may have noticed, he was posturing to be both anti-Israeli regime and still not turning his back on Israel because he separated Netanyahu from the cabinet. So he's being like pro-Israel and anti-Israel at the same time here, which is what JD Vance does, right? He tries to fucking just milk both sides of the fence in order for him to run across and get to the other side. And when I saw this, and then I saw like Tucker, and now we see that clip of Tucker being like, oh, I've known JD the whole time. I love JD. My family knows JD. It's like, really? Your Rich Swanson family knows Meemaw? Like, come on. What the fuck? There's some shit going down. Because imagine, guys, imagine this scenario. Because Rubio is the heir apparent. Rubio cannot win a presidency. I'm telling you right now, that guy couldn't even win the fucking primary, like couldn't even be competitive. He's not going to win the presidency. He is he's a toad who, if anything, has ruined any credibility he had in like becoming Trump's fucking go-to fluffer. Okay? So Tucker is a little too wild, I think, to be the presidential candidate. Okay? He's a little too polarizing. He certainly doesn't have the charm, right? Now, JD Vance is awkward, but JD Vance has an institutional MAGA following, and JD Vance is like one of the best liars. Like when he is talking to a reporter who is like trying to call him out, JD Vance, he's terrible at giving speeches, but that motherfucker can lie in an interview like he is a sociopath. Like he's got a rock in his shoe and he's trying to pass a goddamn lie detector test. So then I wondered, what if all of the non-Rubio people come together? What if Erica and Candace play their little game, and in the 9th hour, Erica Kirk and Candace join hands, and JD Vance and Tucker Carlson join hands with 𝗙ecie 𝗶𝗏𝗀 and Cenk Uygur right back in the Poly Market family, okay? And you know what I'm saying? Like that, it could be a little interesting. I wonder if that is going to, if that's what we're going to see. Vance doesn't have MAGA. No, Vance doesn't have MAGA, but he has like some of MAGA. I think Vance has some of MAGA. And certainly if Vance were to like mount a candidate where he had the America Firsters, I feel like Vance could posture himself to like, like chase MAGA in a way that, you know what I mean? I would not be surprised at this point if we see Vance, Tucker Carlson as the unit with Turning Point USA and Candace Owens working for the two of them along with Cenk Uygur and Ana 𝗙cie𝗵𝗋. Okay? That's what I think we might see. Like a almost united religious front. But the one thing I don't know, though, I don't know how they would manage the Erica Kirk and the Zionist TPUSA with the fucking anti-Zionist shit. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me, because they're right. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that doesn't make any sense, that I can't see, is because Erica Kirk and TPUSA are distinctly Zionist, and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are distinctly not. So I don't know how that piece of the pie would work. I mean, it could, though. It could very well become Erica Kirk not really addressing that, and Erica Kirk addressing the other issues, right? And maybe Erica Kirk aligning with these guys to be like, see, we're not Zionists. You keep thinking there's some Zionism going on, because what better way to backdoor Zionism than to grab, like, the anti-Zionists and get power and then slowly inch them back to the Zionism, right? I don't know. It still is bending my mind, but something is going on, dude. Something is going on with JD Vance that is in the mix here. Dude, look at his face. Dude, it's creepy. Okay? These guys are fucking creepy, bro. Dude. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Dude, MAGA will do what Trump tells them to do. I don't know what it's going to be like in 2028, guys, because Trump is going to be fucking pretty demented by then. And especially, we take back the House and the Senate. If we take back the House and the Senate this year, Trump is going to lose his fucking mind, dude. He is going to go off the rails. Okay? He is, dude. Trump. All right, guys. Dude, you ready? If we're doing dance party though, we got to reset it one more time. We 5 away. I forgot the goal. All right, I apologize. I'm not really paying attention to the goal, but now I'm gonna focus on it for the 5 minutes. All right, we're gonna get this shit. We're gonna fucking make this shit happen, and then we'll fucking check in on Candace and Erica Kirk. Dude, I want to bring all these right wingers down. Oh my God, they're trying so much. The election fuckery is like, dude, they're like scared, guys. The Republicans are scared because they have attacked the Voting Rights Act. They've done a bunch of redistricting. They're trying to like hold up the mail. Okay? They are trying everything. And even then, it still looks like they're going to lose. Like, I have never seen the Republicans so afraid of losing an election cycle ever in history, boss. And I feel like it's because of the Epstein files. Dude, I literally think it is all of the fucking Epstein files. Yeah, will you give me that clip, Natalie? I saw you put it in Discord. I would like to look at that Trump clip. All right. I feel like the Epstein files is the thing that they are desperately don't want those to hit the light of day, man. Thank you. By the way, can I like nerd out for a minute? Because fucking, you know, hold on. Where is it? All right. I was like, what was I doing? I was doing the goal. Dude, I forgot what I was doing. And I'm like looking at my window up here on the other monitor. And I'm like, why am I looking at this window? What was I just doing? And I was going to do the goal for the 5 super chats so we can get the dance party. Dude, I'm like, I can't remember. I'm a little touched in the head. All right, let's go. Yeah, no, this has got to be Epstein files related. So let's watch this Trump clip. Again today with his, or no, this was yesterday at the little, American Workers First? Yeah, tariffs, fucking, like, American workers getting hosed. Cathedral Park representing, let's go, Night Gardener! Let's go, guys, 4 away, baby! All right, the counter's broken, but that's all right. I'll fucking...
And remember I had the couple of little statements, too big to rig, make it too big to rig, because these people cheat like hell. They cheat like hell, but we won it by a lot, and maybe we should run again. Should we run?
Dude, 1.4%, dude.
And,
Dude, he won by 1.4%. Shut the fuck up, Trump.
remember I had the couple of little statements, too big to rig, make it too big to rig, because these people cheat like hell. They cheat like hell, but we won it by a lot, and maybe we should run again. Should we run one more time? I'd like to do that. I'd like to do it. But I got more votes than any candidate in the history of Pennsylvania. Can you believe that, Bo? You would have gotten more. And remember...
Dude, what an idiot. Too fast to blubber us. Too fast to blubber us. All right, 3 away, guys. Let's go. Only 3 away. The counter's broken, but we only need 3. We're getting it. Dude, all he does is campaign. All he does, every rally is like the same, dude. Dude, yeah. There's so much cheating that you guys won all 3 houses. Give me a fucking break, dude. Dude, I'm so tired of this lying piece of shit. Why is he doing rallies? Julia, he's doing rallies because the Republicans are dead in the water. Okay? They have no momentum. Everything he said he was going to do, he's lied about. And the economy sucks. Everything is in a shambles. And so the only chance he has is by creating some sort of controversy about communism and transgender people. And then he's got to do his rallies where he can recite we got to protect the men and women's sports, right? He has to recite the fucking whatever 4 or 5 wedge items that get his evangelical brain dead people, inspired, because he's desperately trying to get people out to vote, right? Because he's worried people aren't going to turn out, and the Democrats are going to fucking turn out, right? Hopefully, as long as we don't fuck it all up. So he is like desperate. I mean, they are like scared, guys. They are scared. How does he still have 38% approval? 33 of that is like MAGA, right? So, yeah, he's always going to have, I feel like 30-some%. Dude, 𝗙cie_𝗆𝗆que, let's go. Boring people don't vote or donate. Let's go. We're 2 away, guys. 2 from the dance party. Let's go. Polls only call landlines. Dude, I get polls on my fucking texting. I never reply to him, though. I never reply to him. Dude, let's go. Yeah, dude, 𝗙cie_𝗆𝗆que is killing it. 2 away, guys. Yeah, the diehard are never going anyway. Dude, the TPUSA women. Dude. Oh, shit. I mean, we just need to turn out in droves, man. We need to turn out in droves. I keep seeing these Dems, though, that are pissing me off, dude. Let's go, dude. One away, guys. There it is. Dude, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪, there it is. Let's go. Dude, we did it. Greets from Greece. Kudos. Thank you. Give me the dance party, sue me. Let's go. So we got it because the first one didn't count, but you want to throw one more in there to hit the 5 of 5 just so it's gone. You can do that, but we're good. We're solid. All right. Let's go. Dude, fuck Trump. There it is. 𝗙cie. Where's Trump's Ленни Riefenstahl? Dude, oh my God. 𝗙cie_𝗆𝗆 with the 5 gifted. Let's go. Oh. Let's go, baby. Doing the fucking, the ninja. What, the pom-pom? Dude, dude, the Fortnite dances. Let's go. Dude, that deserves a tiggle. Yeah. Oh, shit. Dude, you crazy. Thank you, 𝗙cie_𝗆𝗆. Keep the change. Dude, I will. So, you know what's so funny? Is I saw, you know who followed me sometime recently that I'm not fucking aware of? Is Mike from PA, dude. Dude, this is new. Okay? This guy had not previously fucking followed me. That is a new development there, guys. I feel like some collaborations are going to be coming soon, guys. Right? Dude, I am moving left, guys. I am. I'm always going to be interested in using the institutional power of the Democratic Party, okay? Because there is a lot of institutional power in that institution, but like, I'll be goddamn, you know what's gotten me, guys? What has made me like move left? It's been some of the people that I follow and commiserate with on Twitter. Elf says, I'm not gonna lie, I got more money under Biden, but Trump isn't far off. Let's go, Elf. Dude, let's go. Dude, I don't know. I'm a white guy, so I tend to be financially all right no matter who's in office. But dude, Elf, you're fucking incredible, boss. Thank you. And 𝗙cie_𝗆𝗆, thank you. But so what I was gonna say is in the last 6 months, and specifically it has been Graham Platner, who I didn't like at first, and I had a lot of issues with. And then I started exploring him. And then I started looking at some of the other DSA candidates. And then I started watching like middle of the road Democrats that I have been following and have been following me for years. And I started noticing a pattern, guys, where many of the middle of the road centrist Democrats are liars. That's it. They're fucking liars, okay? Where they won't admit that, like, their number one issue is, like, funding the Israel machine. They won't admit it, okay? They will try to make everybody who's a progressive or DSA like some sort of extremist as if they're as bad as Trump. But they won't actually admit. Like, I would respect them if they could just say, like, you know, we really value a fucking deep, long-standing relationship with Israel, and we want to keep giving them money. At least I would fucking respect the fact that they're not gaslighting me. But when they're laying in about fucking Graham Platner over and over and over again, saying he's a Nazi, you can say Platner has the tattoo, but like Platner is not a fucking Nazi. He has no history of hanging out with Nazi groups. He has no history of being involved in Nazi politics or Nazi political movement. He has no history of being involved with any known white supremacist people. Okay? He got a shitty tattoo that none of us knew was a fucking Nazi tattoo. Nobody knew the Totenkopf was a Nazi tattoo. Okay? You know what I mean? Nobody knew it. His brother's wife's Jewish family saw it and they didn't fucking know. It was just a blob on there. You know what I'm saying? And so like the fact that they will harp on that shit and gaslight over and over and over instead of just being honest about what's really important to them, that bothers me. And the fact that like I enforced vote blue no matter who to leftists, and they won't enforce vote blue no matter who when a leftist wins. And that's fucked up, bro. You can't demand the leftists vote for your centrist bullshit and then you refuse to vote for the leftists that win. Like, we're supposed to incorporate them. You know what I mean? And in particular, seeing Democrats like want Susan Collins to win because they don't want somebody who's against the war machine in Senate is like, dude, that is the biggest radicalizer of me. That fucking pushed me over the edge, dude. It did. I have been seeing Democrats who it is very clear that they want Susan Collins to win because the money going to Netanyahu is more important to them than fucking, having a fighter in the Senate. Like, literally, that to me is insane, guys. That is insane. Like, I can accept AIPAC Democrats, okay? I can. I realize we haven't gotten rid of AIPAC, so I can accept a Democrat who is an open AIPAC money taker, but I cannot accept a Democrat who will shill for a Republican to win just because of AIPAC. That is bullshit. And even Schumer even said, like, we're going to win with Platner, okay? And he is as AIPAC as it gets. But, like, dude, that is some fucked up shit. That's where I was like, oh my God, dude, these people really aren't on my side. They really aren't even on the left. They are in like some Zionist fucking incubator. Do you know what I mean? Dude, you know what I'm saying? And so like, yeah, man. So we're like a rebirth. I'm experiencing a rebirth, guys. I am. And let me just tell you too, like I'm a formidable opponent too. You know what I'm saying? I am a formidable, like I bring a lot of energy to whatever battles I choose. And so like, yeah, I'm going to keep moving left, guys. And dude, moving left, boss. Out of my way. Fuck you. Hello. Dude. Yeah, dude, the Platner shit opened my eyes. It really did. It really did, guys. And it was with people that I fucking really admire, like on Twitter, people like Shannon Watts. You know what I mean? The mom's demand woman. She was right. And I mean, dude, I still don't I don't dislike Shannon. I don't dislike her at all, but like we've been fucking internet connected for a while, and she is like a very important person with fucking, in the battle for against guns and, and founding fucking Mom's Demand Action. And like, she's an amazing person, but I'm starting to realize that some of the people that I like have been connected to politically and really, really respect are more concerned about like the buttressing of Israel than they are about what's going on here in our American fucking like reality. And that is like been a real eye opener for me, because it's like they don't want to win and they don't want to have like a lot of change or significant change. They want to, like, you know, they want to defeat a bad guy, but like that's it. They just want to defeat a bad guy, and then they want to maintain the trajectory we're on with a few minor course corrections in the social justice sort of way. And like, dude, and another thing, we're taking the flag back, okay? I just bought a shirt that should be here in a couple days that is like an American flag with woke AF. Dude, I want to take the flag back. I want the left to, like, we need to commandeer the flag, okay? We do. I am tired of them fucking owning the flag, okay? I'm not sure exactly what that's gonna look like, but dude, we're gonna get the flag back. Dude, welcome, Tommy. We were waiting for you. Let's go. Dude, I've always been here. I just, you know, I don't know. Dude, I tend to give people a lot of the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I'm super disappointed in that shit. Okay? Because the warring, dude, like, that's bullshit. Okay? The warring, dude, the warring is not, shit is not okay with me. Right? Dude, the warring, what is Black Flag? Black Flag's a punk band. Henry Rollins is pretty cool guy, actually. Dude, he's pretty intense, good energy. Abby Hoffman, dude, I like Abby Hoffman. Dude, let's go. You're scared to rock the boat? Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to rock the boat. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to rock the boat. And so, yeah. Dude, yeah, I want to take some of the symbolism back. Dude, Ben-Gvir, fuck that guy. Dude, we're gonna put his ass in a fucking cage, dude, in jail, dude. That guy needs to go to prison. Like, that guy is so rotten. Like, what a rotten fucking human being. Okay, dude, I do have to delete that comment there. Like, I do have to moderate the chat. I understand your zeal, but yeah, dude, that guy is not good. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, don't worry about it. You're good. I got it. But that guy is fucked up. Like, dude, that guy is fucked up, bro. But all right, dude, it's dance party time. Dude, yeah, no, you don't have to be sorry, C-Punk. You should not be sorry. All right? Do not apologize for bringing the smoke to fucking killers and degenerates, okay? Do never apologize for bringing the smoke, okay? You know what I mean? But we are just getting started, okay? We are just getting started, guys. Uppercut. Dude, we're going to get some collabs going in the next year, boss. All right? Dude, that's going to be the 2026-2027 season of Political Punk is going to be about the collab. Right? We're about to enter collab season. Oh, good. Jenny's still up. All right. I'm going to try and milk a few more minutes with Jenny. Right? She's leaving tomorrow. She's going away on a surprise journey. She's going on an adventure. Surprise adventure. So she's going to be going away for a couple days. Who are we collabing with? Dude, you'll see. I don't know who yet, but I can tell it's going to be good people. All right? We're going to get there. Right? I don't know who. I have no target. I just know it's coming, dude. All right, you ready? Ready for that dance? Oh, shit. All right. Dude, I was doing some bench press the other day. Fucking, dude, my joints hurt, bro. I'm gonna get yoked. Let's go. You ready? All right, here we go. Here we go. It's time for a little deja vu. Let's go. Oh.
They have a lot to say, but I don't know. Been here before, yeah, I do recognize the title. There's marble floor, and I don't need my eyes to see what lies behind that wooden door. Ooh, a little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. Time with you and I can see it like things will turn out okay. Everything lately, I'm feeling so familiar. Coming on greatly, it's feeling like a million. I've been here before, yeah, I do recognize the title. This marble floor.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of your head. I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Thank you. And stay radiant. Good night.
Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting. I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better